Okay, hi guys again. So we're continuing with making this game, and this part you guys see this. So I did a little bit on it last night before I went to bed. Otherwise, yeah, we will continue. I mean, I didn't change much. I on the scripting side. So we have now, instead of just two trees, we made many trees, and instead of two apples, multiple apples. And now you can pick, you can fill up boxes with apples, or you can fill up boxes with oranges. Okay, so great. Now let's go on to the next. We're yep. So I'm starting the next job. So that you can get you each box that you load onto the truck, you make how much money do you make? You make uh I think $13. I don't remember. Anyways, we're gonna be adjusting the prices later on, to show that there's jobs that are have lower requirements, so they also pay less, and other jobs. So when we have the other jobs, then we can balance it out. But for now, at each box I think gives either 12 or $13 per box. All right, now let's start the next job. Yeah, so this reminded me, oh, first we want to actually manage jobs. So when we add other jobs later, we will not have lots of too many problems. So first, let's just create like a job center, so a place where people can go and search for and find jobs. So let's do that job center right now. Oh, just hold on a second. I have to take a pause. So let me pause. Let me cancel my audio. Okay, sorry. That was a work call, so I could. That's confidential. I had to pause my audio. So let's go on to the next part, which was, yeah, we're gonna create a job center, and that job center is gonna lead you to different jobs. Yes, I guess we might not have time working on that second job today because this is actually a big feat to do that job center functions, as well as having each job have as, like, let's say an office building. So let's do like here. This is just we're gonna create it later. Let's say this is office. This block, this little block is the office. Poor office. It's just a little piece of wood. Uh, we're gonna put a person there to take care of it. I think if we add another like a manager. Let's make an avatar. Let's put in an avatar. We're gonna use rig builder, and we're gonna put a female avatar this time, and it's gonna be skinned avatar, not my avatar. Skinned avatar is like those new type of not the block one. So like her. So she is gonna be our this job. If you take on this job, she's gonna be like the manager, I guess. I guess she's the manager. So now that we have her there, we know a little bit the height ish. Okay, so yeah, so this is a good height for this table. Okay, and we're just gonna put another block right on top of there. And we're going to put that as, for now, this is gonna be like our, what we speak to. Oh no, we can use actually use a script dialogue. I just remembered that is why I put hers, because we're gonna use a dialogue instead. Um, but oh yeah, we still need that. I'll show you guys why we need this block until we fix it. Okay, we might need a few blocks of it that will show information. Because we're doing the building last. We're starting with scripting and we're doing the building last. So now that I realize by got a message, sorry. Um, okay, so yeah, we might need a few of these, but for now, I'll just put one. And we're gonna add a surface GUI, and this should be the front surface. And then text label, we're already on the front, so we're fine. Okay, so this text label is humongous. Do we want it to be that big? We'll see. Okay, so we can increase the this box to take up the entire text label. Obviously, you can change the size of the text label, but I'm just wondering whether or not it really is it was too small. Um, Let me just see. So if I put, we're gonna anchor this. Oh, and I think I did not anchor these. Oh, they are. Okay, so now let me just test the how I see this while I'm playing in the game to make sure it's easy to read. So this will actually say check in. So we want it to be scaled. Okay, so let's play. Let's press play. Which I mean, there's no point checking the size anyways because when we do the yeah. Oh, it's actually a good size. It really is a good size. Yeah, for reading visually, yeah. Okay, so we're going to leave it that big. It was looking big, but now it's not looking that big when you're in the game. Okay, so let's see. So now they should be able to check in. They should have other options, but first let's she is gonna be the manager. Okay, so she's the manager um of this job. So each job will have its own manager and whatever other NPCs that it needs. But for now, we're just gonna put one a manager, and then we're gonna put a dialogue on her head. Okay, so dialogue, and there should be other things that we can do. So on her head, the dialogue is in our well, not yet in alphabetical order. Yeah, so we're gonna add dialogue choices. Okay, so let me just check here what we have. You should be able to apply. We're gonna see. Okay, so you should be able to apply. Oops, I can't spell apply. You should be able to check in. Check in. What else should you be able to do? You should be able to request your employment record. There's a shortened version for this. I'm sure it's not ER. Um, I have mine from my old job. Let's just put ER. It's not ER. And it sounds like ER employment record, but okay, let's just leave it like that. At request your ER. I just want to put a whole employment record, just so long. Fine, put it. Request employment record. For the sake of not wondering what it is later on. um, okay, so for now, that is it. We also want to put this manager, no, not the manager that knows the, let's see, check in. Okay, so let's add uh, oh, a very interesting thing crossed my mind. A very interesting feature. Um, Oh, somebody must have messaged me. Sorry. Hi, hello. Yes, you are the only person watching. Hi. Yeah. So I just realized, okay, you can see the code. Okay. Yeah. Hi, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so I'm just working on this game that will be scripting. So that's why I will mention again for the two of you who are looking right now that ignore the look, okay? Ignore the look of what it is like. We're only working on the scripting, and at the very end, we're gonna have fun doing. Okay, so we're gonna have fun at the end doing designing the look of this. Okay, so we're only focusing on scripting, so ignore what it looks like. And thanks for subscribing. All right. So, what were we saying? So the manager, we added the dialogue to the manager, but we also want to, yeah. So and also my idea just came to mind. That's what I was at while I was doing this, because I had the point of check-in was actually so that on your record, your employment record, you can have a late. So if you come in late, if you check in after the time that the job started, you're actually gonna have a late record be a record of being late. However, it just crossed my mind that and also my idea, I think, that would make it a little fun is actually it will not make it late. But if any other person, another employee comes and they see you haven't checked in, like it will say who are the employees and who has checked in. And if they can report you to the manager and then you get a late you're gonna get a late record on your employment. Oh, thank you. Cool. Awesome. Thanks. And hello, Carter. Yeah, so let's just do this now. So now we're gonna see the manager is going to have a folder of all the employees. And employees will be able to see who are the other people working and who are the other workers there. So they can check when you after you check in, but don't check before you check in because then you'll be late for work. Yeah, so they can check who are the late people and you can report it to the manager. Okay? Um let's see. I think that I'm just starting to laugh at how funny that would be in the game. Of reporting people for being late for work. Okay, so employees. This folder will be called employees. Okay, so and it's just going to have every time we're just gonna put all the people who are supposed to be working there. Okay, so we can have a shift. Okay, so we're going to have that just adds more work to this, but it's okay. We're going to put it. Um, so this job we have to decide what time it's open, what time the shifts are. So we have to decide the shifts. So let me just put it here. Script. No, we're gonna put a number value, and it went all the way down there. Which I don't like. So we're not gonna put the number value there. We'll put it somewhere else. Okay, so now that we have our dialogue, let's start our script for the manager. We only have this, so let's see. User dialogue for this. We'll have no goodbyes, no goodbye options for now. Okay, so to apply, you're gonna say, I would like to apply for this job. Um, check in. I would like to check. We're not gonna put that I would like to in front of everything because since it's gonna be written one after the other, it's going to look not very nice to read. So we'll just put just check in and here just apply. And then putting apply for this job because you can't apply for another job at this manager. For another job, you have to go to that their manager. So okay, and now for request employment record, we're gonna say request my employment record. So you're gonna have a resume created by the game. And yeah, on your resume, if you want to have good references, make sure to not have a bad stuff on your employment record. It will say like how many times you were late. In real life, of course, we don't have that. I have tried this before, but I did not go wrong. Ah, okay, I see. If you need help and you have basic questions, you can let me know. But you'll also be seeing me scripting, and you can learn from that. I actually learned scripting from someone else scripting, okay? Because like I mean Lua, not Lua, not other languages, because I went to school and I studied programming for websites. But for Lua, I learned it from other people scripting. And then the rest I learned on my own. So at the beginning, it would be helpful to be looking at other scripts, other people's scripts and how they script, and then other later on down the line it's the rest you pick up on your own once you get how it works, the structure, and it's gonna be very easy for you because the structure is always the same. Pretty much the same thing. And then you also get the habit of going and find the documentation, using the documentation online. I mean, I still do that all the time, going to the documentation and yeah, because I had learned other languages before this one, I always get confused here. So I have to go find the correct structure um, for Lua. So don't worry about that. Just practice, practice. And yeah, do look at other people's codes, or you can find if you want examples of codes that you want to look, and like you won't have time checking other people on YouTube streaming. You can also find the toolbox. You can find codes there that you can go through. For example, how to code a door. You can find a door that has scripts and make sure it's working. Test it that it's working because a lot of them are just people also testing things. So make sure that it's working when you press play, and then if it does, look at how they did it. There's lots of scripts in the toolbox that you can find in the toolbox in different models with scripts on them. You just go in models and you find stuff. There's lots and you can learn from that. Anything that you want to find out what to do, just go find it and search one at a time exactly the script for what you want to do. That's another thing. Yeah, that is true. However, these buttons, I will completely change them. I actually just found them in the Decals store. And one thing in my games is I do not want anything from other players. So these are pictures from other players that I just found there, just to give you guys a little representative while we're doing this. However, when we are going to be doing the design, both the graphic design and the 3D design, we're redoing every single thing. Okay, and we're just not going to be touching the script anymore because everything will be functional, but we're redesigning everything. So these pictures will not be there as well, because they're not even homogeneous in the sense of like they're not the same height. I mean, if you take out the background, they're not the same height, they're not the same stuff. It's not very yeah. So you can see I just put this there for the moment while we're doing testing. These pictures will be changed. All right, so now let's yeah, so we're going to start scripting the manager and her dialogue. So we're gonna put I think I already put the script. Yes, I did. Okay, so we're gonna call the script manager farm managers because there's gonna be different managers for the different jobs. So this is the farm manager. It's not a farm because we haven't completed it. But since I haven't figured out what the name of this job is yet, we'll just call it farm manager. Now let's find the dialogue. So local dialogue um, is equal to let's find the manager first. A local manager is equal to the script dot parent. So now we have our manager, which is the and this because the script is here and the manager is up there. She's the I forgot that this has to be a local script. I'm always putting dialogue in a in a server script, but let me just do a test. Okay, so now that we have our manager, we can do local dialogue is equal to the manager. I never change the name of dialogue because I only have one dialogue per person. I don't have multiple dialogue per person. So we're not changing the word dialogue. Did I not put the dialogue yet? Oh, the dialogue is in the head. Okay, it's and since the script is running right away, at the beginning we have to wait for child in case it has not loaded the head yet, because we're not doing any wait. We're running the script as soon as the player, as soon as the server is has started. Okay, and everything is loading all at once. So we're gonna make sure that the head has already loaded, and then find the dialogue. We should also wait for child dialogue, by the way. Um, uh, and wait for child dialogue. Okay, so now that we have our dialogue, let's um, find whenever a dialogue choice has been selected, we're going to connect a function that's going to tell us what the choice was. Okay, and now we're just going to print choice. So we're going to check in the output if we have the choice that they selected. So I'm just going to print choices here, the word choices, to make sure that we've entered this script. I have an infinite field for, oh, oops, I forgot to change something. Let's just do that right away before we continue. So in screen GUI stats, okay, so that's not the script that is on. Let's just check. I think I have a script called a script in stats. Yeah. Okay, so stats manager, player stats manager. Yeah, because we changed the folder of stats, so we're going to change. We have to change it here. So stats are now in. We call it screen GUI. It's in info, and in info we have stats. Okay, because I added more things, the bills will also show in info and other things later on down the line, include jobs as well, current job. Let me just do that now. We're gonna put what the current job that the player is doing. I think that I'm wondering if we should allow the player to have more than one job at a time, maybe two jobs at a time. Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. I'm hoping that it's gonna be fun, when it's completed. Okay, so we're gonna just duplicate this and so that I don't forget. So we're gonna make sure in info that we have the option to see our jobs. I think if there's not a conflict in time schedule, like maybe you can have a day job and a night job. I'll try and see if we can put daytime, nighttime, as well, nighttime jobs, or maybe jobs that do not have a specific time. You can do it anytime you want. We will see, but I think, yeah, the possibility of having more than one job would be great. So we will put multiple jobs. Okay, so for now I just remove actually leave it, and let's change this to job one. That's just an example. and then that will be the title of the job, and that will be status. Yeah, that will just be okay. So job one, and then we're gonna have this in status. We're going to have none because at the beginning the player will have no job. Okay, and when they do have a job, we will add it to their title as to what job that they're doing. Definitely not how you write status. Okay, so let's test out first our chatting with the manager. A dialogue with an oh, oops, we did not have an initial prompt because I forgot to put it. So in the head, in our dialogue, always don't forget, we should have an initial prompt that the NPC, when you click on the to interact with them, they will ask you something. So I'm just gonna say, how may I help you? How may I help you today? Isn't that the very same way that the bank the teller greets us? Isn't it fun? All the NPCs are gonna say the very same thing. I think it would be fun to come up with something more interesting, but you know what? Since I can't think of anything interesting, let's just leave it at hello, how may I help you today for now. So each NPC starts with hello, how may I help you? How may I help you today? Okay, so the manager goes, hello, how may I help you today? So we want to apply for the job. So our output, we see here, it doesn't, we have hello world, but when we make a choice, it does not tell us what choice was made. So that's why I was mentioning earlier, in a dialogue, it can only tell you that in a local script, because if you're chatting with the manager and you're clicking, this is happening on the client when you're clicking because if one person clicks in the manager, not everybody's going to see that box that's with the choices, only that player. So that click was only from that player, so it's happening on the player's side. So it has to be a local script and not another script. Okay, so let's just close right now. There's too many scripts open, those that we don't need. This is for the new game. Okay, so now we have way less things because this is too was too many. Okay, so now I will temporarily put it in starter player scripts. The simple way that we have picking. Actually, we will put it. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this and we're gonna put this in the picking manager. Okay. Yeah, so this is, so now we can access, instead of, we have farm manager here, and yes, we need to come back to the manager. We will need to have a script there for the manager to do the things that we ask them to do. So for now, oops, we don't want picking manager. Yeah, we do. Okay, so now that we have to get our manager in the world. So the manager is in the workspace. Um, yeah, dot manager. Okay, so now we can listen to the choices. So now that we're going to have our choices, we need to tell it what to do based on what choice was made. So we're gonna use the very same format that we used in picking. Is it in, nope, it's not in, oh, it was for the teller. For the teller, I will be using the very same format, okay? So when we have our dialogue, so I'm gonna put the very same function for the dialogue choice. So when they make a choice, it needs to find the choice and execute that function. So then we have our NPC actions. So we're gonna have a variable with NPC actions, and then we're going to have actions that have the same name as the choice. Okay, and we're also going to say the player's choice, local player's choice, equals false. At the beginning, they haven't chosen, equals nil. They haven't chosen anything yet. So now that we have this, we have functions for each one. So what are the functions? We're going to go back and check. There will be apply. So one function will be named apply. So if they click on apply, it has to do something. This is the function to say what to do if they click on apply. And we're going to do the very same thing for each of them. So check in. Okay, we're going to remove that dash so that we can easily just write here check in, and request employment, request employment record. Make sure it's written the exact same way, or it's not going to find this choice. Yeah, so I didn't misspell anything. Okay, so now we can call these functions to do things. Okay, so which of these can we do now and then? If we want to apply, we're going to have to I'm just thinking, um when we apply for the job, what we have to check is the requirements. Okay, so each job will have different requirements, and I think we're gonna put that this job has no requirements. Like, I mean, you're just picking apples and stuff. Sorry, I'm just reading. Okay, I just saw what you said. Sorry, I missed what you were saying because I wasn't reading the chat. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that before you left. I'm not reading the chat every second because I would be distracted by checking too often, and then we will have no progress in the game. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested in doing it, I will tell you. But this is actually, I put only a box for now, but we're gonna have an entire room for the manager to be in. The manager is not going to be standing outside. This is just because we're focusing on the script for now. But yeah, if you want to help out with when we're doing the design, you guys are welcome to come out and give your ideas, etc. But for now, as I said, we're not doing any design. Okay, so let's go back to the manager options. So we want to apply. So the first thing we want, I'm just gonna put this in comments. The first thing we want to do is make sure player has the requirements for the job. That's one. And the second, what else do we want to make sure? Oh wow, the AI already knows that if they do, give them the job. The AI is so my gosh, what don't they know about what we want to do? Cutter YouTube. Okay. Yeah, you can add me on yeah, you can add me on Roblox. I think I have 199 friends, so there's one spot. Yeah, so go ahead. But I'm really sorry that if we don't communicate often, I will forget who you are, and when I need to make space for someone I know in real life, I might end up deleting you by accident. So yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's go. NPC apply. Make sure player has the requirements for the job, and then if they do, we're gonna give them the job. Now for check-in, this action, we have to first check if it is time to check in, and we're gonna say that the player can check in. I'm just leaving these notes so that when we're working on them, we know what to do. The player should be able to check in. They can check up to 10 minutes early. A player can check in. I'm just thinking, how early and how late can they check in? Before the time. Like, let's say this shift starts at like 12 in game. Um, can they check in before? Because they should have time to check in so that they're not always late. If you press 1 second later, that shouldn't make sense. So we'll give them 1 minute. 1 minute in real life. 1 minute in real life is 1 hour in the game. So the player can check in 1 minute in real life before the shift begins. And while they can check and up and shift begins until the shift ends. So you can actually check in 1 second before your shift ends. And if no one reported you late, you actually do not get an absent record, a missed an absent record on your on your sorry, an absent record on your pretty much an absence on your record. Okay, so I wanted to add something else. Oh yeah, sorry. Can you send me the request? Oh yeah, my username is the same as my YouTube. It's Lix's mom. I use the very same username for everything. So on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, it's always Lix's mom. Okay. Uh, I actually can't stay long because I was just taking a break. I'm at work and I'm taking a break while I was at work to do this because I didn't have that much to do today. But I will continue after I'm done with my shift. I finish work at like after 5:30, most times at 6, but let's say at 6, and then I'll be streaming again the continuation. Um, okay, so let's just see what else, what other function we want check-in to do. So, um, the AI is telling me, no, thank you. Okay, so you can check. So yeah, so as long as the time is 1 minute in real life before your shift begins, and it's also if it's after that, and then before your shift ends, then you can check in. Okay, and then when the shift ends, okay, so we have to put in the farm manager. We have to tell the farm manager. We have different events. So shift began when for the farm manager when the shift has begun. We want to actually yeah we're gonna have to activate check-in just before shift began, and then when the shift ends we will be checking any player who did not check in. They get um a bad record. So check employees who did not check in. Sadly, yeah, you will not be able to work because I'm gonna put when you check in, that's when it lets you work. So you can't work without forgetting to checking and going straight to work. So you will not have the script to work anyway. So you can accidentally forget to check in. So check employees who did not check in, then add missed work to their record. Days missed. So we're gonna have a days missed, and it's gonna increase. However, we're going to give players the opportunity to notify that they're not gonna be there. To avoid a day miss, you have to notify the manager in advance. There will be up to a certain time. You have to notify them that you're not coming. Then that will prevent you from having a day missed. So we're gonna put player can notify manager of absence to avoid missed days missed increasing. Yeah, because it's gonna mess up your resume. Um, oh, I already have. Now I have to delete someone. I thought I had 199. I'm gonna have to delete some. And this is what happens. I might delete people who actually spoke to me one time, but the fact that I don't remember who they are. So I'm about to delete someone to add you. And if I forget who you are, I might end up deleting you to add someone else. So like, if there's no communication with us in the future, sorry if you see I just disappeared because I had to remove people to constantly add people. So I'm just removing like, oh, I don't remember that username. Uh, it'll be easy to do. So let me just go now and make and remove someone. Any name that I don't remember. Um, okay. Like there's names that looks familiar to me. I don't remember how I met them. I will keep it. But any name that I'm like, wait, I have no recollection of anything at all, I'll just remove. Okay, so just checking. Okay, so I found someone to do it. I found a name that I have no clue where it came from. On friend. Okay, so let me collect yours. Let me get your name again. You gave it to me higher up. Carter YT. Okay, so let me find you. And okay, I think I see I've got you. Okay, so I sent you a friend request. Hi. Hi, Kadoda. But I'm actually going to, I'm not staying. I'm not staying. I have to go pretty soon to prepare, because I'm at work, as I mentioned before, I'm at work, so I have to go prepare food for the guys to eat at work. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna be having in the manager script. And these events will be called from the client. Okay, so now we don't want teller two, we want our picking manager. Okay, so check in, okay, request employment record, and that's just going to open up a GUI for the player, and this GUI will be generated from player data about their jobs, about job history. Oh no, that is that specific. Sorry, this is not the resume. This is that specific job. So if you want to know how many times that job has made you absent, yeah. So it will be it's not going to be generated from the data play. Oh yeah, not about job history, but about we're gonna have days missed, uh, days completed. So how many days you've worked that job. So we're gonna have how many days you did this job, the number of days that you missed, and the number of days that you were late. So if somebody reported you late, you're gonna have a late. So this is what your employment record would say. I should also say how much money you made at that in that job. So how much money you made at that specific job, and your yeah, so this is what it's gonna show you when you request your employment record. So this will be a GUI. So this is Open's GUI. So the main focus of this one is open a GUI, and we're gonna fix that information on it. And then check-in, the main thing it does is what we say here. Okay, so let's we have to prepare to be able to do these functions. As you see, we cannot do you need help. Thank you very much, but I actually I decided not to because I have had a few people help me, and I have a a little mental issue, a mental OCD, that when they leave, I feel like I cannot use their things, and then I start from zero. So like, let's say we're friends, we're working together, and we have a disagreement, and then you go on your business. I feel like everything you did, I have to take it out, and then I will never be able to do anything because then I have to restart every single time. So thank you though for helping, but this is my own mental thing is I don't have to restart because we have a disagreement and I want to take out everything that you did. So I don't want to but thank you. It's appreciated. Yeah. So thank you though. Okay, so yep. So we're gonna start with check-in. This will be the easiest one. Actually, yeah, so each job is gonna have information. This is not what we're gonna say, we're gonna keep this, but I'm just doing it here so that I can check what information we need. So to prepare to do these functions, let's see what we need. So each job is gonna have its own information. So job information, this one is going to be an array of, this will be like the settings of this job. So now we're gonna put we need to know the name of the job. This is definitely equals because this is LUA. Okay, and we're just gonna duplicate this. We're gonna have lots of information about this job. Okay, so this job is going to have max employees. So the maximum number of employees that can be working at the same time. We're going to have start time, shifts, by the way, because maybe we might put a night shift. Who knows? Local shifts. So shifts would be an array. So I guess we can put day shift. Um, I'm wondering if we have other shifts. Dip, dip, dip. And then of course it has to be another array. And then the start time equals, I'm just gonna put 3 for now, and then we're gonna have the end time of that shift. Okay, so let's say we want the shift to start at 9 a.m. and we want it to end at 5 p.m. I'm gonna show you guys what number I'm gonna put in there in a bit. Okay, and then what else? What other information do we want to have so we can do this? Oh yeah, so if we're gonna apply, we want to know what the requirements are. When you apply, you have to check what the job in requirements are and check if the player has those requirements because we'll be putting okay, I get you. It's just I'm thinking I honestly I don't know. Yeah, I am tempted. Like, I mean, I have gotten help before. It's just that I'm talking about having worked with someone for like maybe more than a year and then having to restart just because like I don't want to go through and check all what they did. Just these memories makes me not want to just do it myself. But thank you. If you have ideas, you can always send me those ideas and I will inspire myself from them or not. But I done it in a way where I don't, yeah. Uh, yeah, my trust issues are, are bad. I'm gonna work on it. I'll think about it, but for now, yeah. I mean, they also didn't want to cause issues. They didn't cause any issues like those who left, but it's me, it's my mental problem that prevents me. Like I literally even paid, like I even paid for the work that they did, but I still don't feel comfortable. I see. Uh, I get you. All right. I will honestly think about it. I'll honestly think about it and maybe have it in writing with a signature. That would give me more, that would probably help me more to to overcome because like honestly, human beings and how it works, you might not want to, and then somebody else might want you to, and you know, it could get messy. I have seen it so much. I know. It's just yeah. We'll see. Okay, so and of course I don't make anybody work for free. So even if you say that, I always pay in Robux. I'm not rich, so I always pay some Robux. Okay, so let's continue. So we will need to check what the requirements are, and the requirements will be an array because maybe they need to check what education it might ask for education. It might have like game time requirements. Might have multiple requirements for a job, so it will be an array. What else we need? Okay, so to apply, we need requirements. Okay, and then for check-in, we need to see, okay, when the begins, when the shift ends, to ask for employment record, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'm wondering, should we make them lose their job after a certain amount of missed days? Hmm. If you missed 3 days, you get fired. Okay, let's put fire requirements. Yeah, you will be fired if you miss. By the way, missing game days out of the game does not count. Only while you're playing. Sorry. So if you don't play the game for 2 days, some of you'll come back and you lose the job. It's only while you're in the game. Oh my gosh, I have a throat hurts. I get what you say. Yep, that's what happens in life. Okay, so this is the job information that we will need for now. So let's work on that. So the name is farm picking doesn't make sense. Apple picking wouldn't make sense because we also have oranges and we might add other things. You know what? For now, let's call it apple picking. The maximum employees who can do this job at a time is 3. The shifts will be daytime. I said from 9 a.m. So now 9 a.m. would be, we need to get the actual, so 9 a.m. is 9 hours. So 9 hours would be 9 times 60. Uh, okay, so 9 times 60 would be the start time because our minutes, every second is 1 minute in our game. So I have to check. I have to check this. And then the end time would be 5 p.m. would be 12 plus 5, 17 times 60. That's in the day. Okay, so I will show you guys how the game time works and you'll understand why I put it this way as the time, start time and end time. So game time, let's just finish this first. The requirements for this job, I'll put none. There will be none, so it's empty. And the fire requirements will be days missed. So if they missed, equals, if they missed 20 days, It's not in a row. So once you've missed 20 days, you'll be fired, automatically fired from the job. You can reapply maybe after, I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking, yeah. So your record will expire after a certain amount of time. It will be deleted. So having a bad record can be fixed with time. Promotions. Oh, that's actually interesting. You know what? That's actually a good thing. Maybe if they work a certain number of days without having any bad record entering their file, then they can get promoted and have a higher pay. That's actually really cool. I think yeah, that's a good idea actually. That's an awesome idea. Um, I haven't reached that far enough to be able to put that, but actually an awesome idea. I will put it. Because maybe when I'm working on the players' work information, I'll be putting these things, and then we can always analyze the information that we get in the player's job info, and then promotion option it will be possible. Farming. Oh yeah. So this job, I'll just show you what this job does, so you'll know. So this job I'm getting a manager for. It is I can't find a proper name for it, but you are picking so we're picking apples. I have to put back a zero because I'm done testing, so we can start with zero apples. I made the player start with a few apples so I could test the yeah. So we're filling up apples, and then every time you bring it in, you get oh it's $15. So it's $15 per each box that you fill up, and each box should take I don't know how many yeah. So you'll be picking apples, but you can also pick oranges. So you can also pick oranges as well. I set it to 5 for testing purposes because we're still in like alpha, before alpha. So let's just bring these in the truck. Yeah, so that's what this job is pretty basic. That's why there's no requirements. Anybody normal in normal life, anyone can do that. Yeah, so that's it. So this one I don't know what the name. So I guess farming. Yeah, so farming makes sense. But the reason why I don't want to put farming because there'll actually be a farming job. There will be a farming job where you're actually planting things. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if to call it farming. Let's call it fruit picking. Fruit picking works. Okay. Yeah. So to be fired, you gotta miss 20 days. Okay, so this is gonna be the job information. It's not gonna be here. It's going to be in that job. Okay, so we have jobs. So farm. We're going to have I was thinking of putting it in a module script. Wonder if to put it in a module script. No, I'm just gonna put it in a. So we're gonna call this job info. I might end up putting this in a module script, but I'll figure it out. Actually, I have to put it in a module script. We have no choice simply because to get that information in multiple scripts, that's the best way. Um, so actually, we're gonna put it for all of them. So jobs, and then jobs is gonna be what it's returning, and then we're gonna have the different jobs. So we're gonna have jobs dot we call this fruits picking. Um, fruits, yeah, fruit picking is what we called it, and that we're just gonna copy. Don't tell me I lost it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so jobs at fruit picking, and every new job we add, we're gonna put this. We're gonna bring this right here. The next job we're putting, we're gonna have is it's gonna be a shopper job, and the reason why I put that shopper job is because of my son. My son is gonna play once I have this shopper job. You're gonna be collecting grocery lists from residents, people's house, and go shopping for them and bring them back. You have to go to the grocery store and pick up all the things they ask for. So that's the shopper job. Shopper. Yeah, like for this one, requirements is definitely you need to own a vehicle for this job. So you have to have a car. So this one has a requirement. We're gonna change these things. There should probably be no max employees. I mean, as many shoppers as can be. Anyways, we'll deal with that later. Now we're only working on fruit picking. To set up. Oh my gosh, I got the time. I have to go. We'll continue next time. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. We didn't get that far. I realize whenever I'm streaming, I don't get so far because I'm talking too much. Next time I should just quietly just work while I'm streaming. And if you guys have questions, you will ask me. Cause just ask me. And oh, but I should put it a way that I can actually see when people are sending me a question because I always miss the chat and people even leave and then I see that they wrote something. Um. Anyways, later I'm still at work, so I'm after my shift is done. Look, I just got a bad record in real life because I'm doing this while I'm at work. Okay, bye.